Heroes and Legends, Dynasties, the Commonwealthen Banquron, Jeremy and Pat, the remaining Commonwealthen forces within the dimensions, were teleported to the Commonwealthen galaxy. They spent the 100 years surviving in the wildernesses of the planets surrounding the galaxy until they were found by the administration that ruled Commonwealthen. Unlike others, Commonwealthen had become a republic, and Jeremy and Pat, his Chaldean warrior comrade, and Jeremy was the leader, were completely stunned by this administration. They first encountered the arrogant jerk named Bishop. He was a capable fighter, but he always had a bad and stinking attitude. Him and Pat butt heads. Jeremy tried to encourage Pat not to cause any trouble, but they were guests in this new and strange environment. Then two females had arrived. Val, who was the genius of the galaxy, and Amphi, the pretty general of all time. She was stunningly beautiful and was the head general of all of Commonwealthen. Jeremy was stunned. He had never seen a general this beautiful before. I never thought a woman of this beauty would be made a general. Certainly, she was very capable. Jeremy was smitten, but Amphi encouraged Jeremy not to drool all over her, as she was going to lead them straight to the president. The Commonwealthans were ruled by the Andrea family. The Andrea family consisted of the head of the family and president of the Commonwealthen galaxy, that being Marcus Andrea. He was a no-nonsense man, and although they loved peace, they knew that the wars were coming up again, and so they needed all the help they could get. They welcomed Jeremy and Pat into their forces with open arms. Ah, it's so good to see you, fellow dimension brothers and sisters. Well, how are you two both? Jeremy and Pat then explained their wild ordeals in the dimensions and all that had transpired. Then Marcus then sat down in his chair and understood. So the Holy Emperor and the Oricians all work together. Although they helped destroy Narkuvi, you lot do not seem to be too pleased working with them, seeing that majority of Catherine's forces were top officers in Narkuvi's empire. Make it very hard. I see that the elders are split between loyalties and administration, but not in fate. Very well, Jeremy. I want you and Pat to help lead our forces, along with Afi. We must prepare for war. Jeremy was stunned. What do you mean? As you see, many powers that you once knew are gone. Many in this universe was itching for the Build One Empire to fall, and now they're growing. Seeing the results, others are growing their militaries, preparing for the worst. We need you more than ever. And then Jeremy and Pat both bowed down and said, "Thank you, sir. We will not let you down." During their travels, they met up with Nikki Andrea, who was the First Lady of the Commonwealth, talking to her son, another swordsman named George Andrea. He and his mother were discussing politics and the way forward for the Commonwealth as they make strategic partnerships in order to survive this oncoming onslaught of war and chaos. As Jeremy and Pratt continued to travel within the presidential palace, they saw a little girl. Her name is Nalita Andrea, a 16-year-old teenager who was kind-hearted and the sister of George and the first daughter. And she had a bunch of food for herself and her pet. And she said, "Mister, you look tall and strong. Please help me up this food for my pet, will you?" And then Jeremy nudged Pat, and Pat obliged. I say, "Let's go." The two men followed Nalita towards her pet, Alvo. They were stunned They couldn't believe this little girl's pet was so huge. Alva was a giant Chaldean bear who Natia called her best friend. She raised him as a pup since he was basically a toddler. They basically grew up together. And so the first family and all the generals felt very comfortable allowing Natalie to play with Alvo, as Alvo served as her bodyguard as well. Jeremy was like, so your parents are okay if you playing with this big bear? She said, yeah, of course. We make a powerful team. We've been training and fighting for the past 2 years. And if anything were to start up, we'd be ready and able to fight. Then Pat was impressed. So this is a fellow beast from my people. Excellent. I like to train with this bear sometime. The general looked at Pat like, whoa, slow your roll, man. That's a wild animal. And Natalie took offense. He is not a wild animal. He is my best friend. And he's very trained. Do some tricks. And then Alvo began to got a giant beach ball and started to balance it on one leg and was spinning plates on his nose and also jumping rope all at the same time. Jeremy feeling embarrassed and amazed at the same time. Oh, you didn't have to show me up like that. Okay, I believe it's well trained. It's well trained. It's nice to meet all of you. I guess now we could really start getting down to work and preparing for the battles to come. I don't know what anyone's ambitions is, but they're just preparing for war. But where will this war take us, I wonder? As Jeremy contemplated all these thoughts, the Commonwealthen prepared themselves for what was ahead.